Hi, everybody. Welcome to Awaken Within with Master Ernie T. Hope all is well with everybody. We are going to jump right into episode 40. But before we get started, I want to make sure I thank you, all of you, for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a like, thumbs up, and also leave your comments. That will help me help you much, much better. Today I'd like to go right into something that so many people talk to me about, that they're looking for that inner peace. How do we get that inner peace? Well, we can get into so many different type of spiritual practices, and a lot of them I teach in my Awaken Within program. But it's also a certain way of thinking. It's a mindset, like everything is, right? Well, first of all, are we going to make it at least one of the priorities out of at least 3 or 4 priorities in your life? Have to. You have to become totally submerged in this thought of making change, and then we have to start doing the work, right? And we talk about that a lot. And it's really about how we look at things and how we think. So, first of all, planning really helps so much, especially if you struggle with anxiety. We don't like surprises, right? If you struggle with anxiety, we just don't like it. It doesn't help us at all. We like to know what's going on. And sometimes that can kind of backfire, right? Because we have to know what's going on social media and all of the, stuff that goes on in the world news, and that can kind of backfire. But as far as positivity goes and wanting to change and get some inner peace going on, it's very important that we plan, and not intensively, but we have to plan. And so first things first, have a good night routine. We talk a lot about this, especially in the past, but real quick, if you want to have a good morning and a good day, it starts at nighttime. It starts the night before. There's so many people that always, say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and, the reason why you woke up on the wrong side of the bed because you went to bed on the wrong side of the bed, right? So it always starts at nighttime. What do you do, right? What's your environment? What are you watching? What are you eating? Who are you talking to? What are your thoughts before you go to bed? All of that is very important, right? Being on social media or on your phone or a device before you go to bed too long, too late, that doesn't help. Having a regular time that you go to bed all the time. Having a good night routine is very important. Prayer, meditation, breath work, we talk about that. It takes about 5 minutes, right? And also, as I mentioned, this morning on my reel, is that you also have to let things go before you go to bed, right? You got to start thinking about how you're going to let things go around 5 p.m., all right, or as soon as you get out of work. There's nothing you can do about things that happened that day or that week or past year. Try to really get those straightened out in your head, right, before you go to bed, because that's just going to come around. They're going to be racing thoughts before you go to bed, and they're going to get stuck up here and give you anxiety, and you're going to have a rough time going to sleep, and then your next morning is going to be tough, right? Have a good routine before you go to bed, all right? As far as the cell phone, I tell people all the time, if they really have a hard time with their cell phone, put it in another room for 2 reasons. Put your cell phone in another room for 2 reasons. If you need to keep it on in case you're worried about loved ones contacting you, keep the phone on, okay? And put it in another room so you don't keep going to it before you go to bed, all right? Shut off times like at 9 o'clock or 10 or whatever, okay? And the other reason is, before you put it in the other room, if you have a hard time getting up, again, because it's all about routine. Your brain likes routine over and over and over and over again. Success leaves clues, right? So the other thing is that you put an alarm, whatever time you want to get up, all right? Set that alarm on there, all right? And that's it. You're done. It's over. Put it in the other room, all right? So when that alarm goes off, okay, you will have to get up and go to the other room, All right. Once you're up, you don't hit the snooze. You're up. That's it. You're up. And that's going to take some discipline, right? So it starts at nighttime. Good routine, right? Same thing in the morning, good routine. Prayer, meditation, mindfulness. One of those or all three of those, it takes you 5 minutes, right? And then connect with yourself, right? And again, now it starts off with really looking for that inner peace all day long, all the time, the best that we can do, right? And that is getting the peace through positive thoughts, positive dialogue with ourselves, positive words to ourselves, right? Making sure that we're speaking to ourselves in a positive way, right? Really being aware on what we're saying to ourselves and how much we're worrying and stressing out about things that are out of our control in that moment, right? So the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions, all right, need to be monitored, all right? You should pay attention. Now, you don't want to get obsessed with any of this stuff, but it's really, really important that we pay attention to these things. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, and how we speak to ourselves. That's going to change things as far as having the ingredients that you need, okay, to change yourself into more of a person that has inner peace. Then, of course, you have the extras. You have the breathwork practices. You can come to my classes, right? You have your yoga classes. You have your own practices at home. You have your walks on the beach and spending time in nature as well. This is just very simple things. And I try to keep a lot of my videos simple because I know how people are, that if it becomes complicated, you just won't do it. It's bad enough that you're having a hard time getting unstuck and starting to move and make change. But when we make it complicated, do this, do that, you got to do this, got to do that. When you get up, go. It's like, oh, I'm out, I'm done. All right. So keep things simple, right? And that is a big part of having inner peace, right? You have to really look at your life and your lifestyle and see how complicated it is. In the last 5 years, I have simplified my life immensely. I'm also a minimalist, right? I live very, very, very simple. I don't have a lot of things, all right? Because the more things I have, the more I have to worry about them and take care of them, right? So all of this stuff is so, so important and simple, but it's got to be done if you're looking for that inner peace, right? The less responsibility, and I sound kind of maybe irresponsible, but the less responsibility we have, the better. The other words that we use sometimes, we have to, we gotta. We don't have to gotta do anything we don't want to at our age, right? But, sometimes we have to say no as well, right? So our words are very, very powerful. Whether we're speaking to someone, we already had some videos on that, but when we speak to ourselves, all right, that I got to get this done, I got to go here, I have to get that done, all right? And you start looking at your priorities, right? And you should be one of those top 3 or 4, all right? Never mind that you are looking for more inner peace. Keep a very simple life. Learn from the monks. I'm not telling you to turn into a monk, but keep a simple life. Keep things simple, and you're going to feel so much better, right? Hopefully this helps. We have so much coming your way. I'm really excited about my next video coming up, and of course, a bunch of great ideas and products that I'm going to be talking to you about on what I use to have a simple life and a healthy life, and of course, the video series of introducing you to so much as far as alternative ways to feel better. Hey, let's have a great day. Let's think about that great day, be aware about that great day, and take some action. Enjoy your day.